Well, it's finally happened. For the first time since October 13th, 2000, the NASCAR Truck Series has taken the green flag without Matt Crafton in the field. Crafton says he's not fully retired and will probably run between 5 and 10 races in 2026.
I'm not fully retired. ThorSport put out the post that said that I was not doing it full-time in the 88 truck anymore, 88 Menards truck anymore, so everybody took that as retiring. And we're just doing it part-time. So I'm just gonna run a select amount of races, 5 to 10 races next year, and then be able to help some of the younger drivers that are coming through there.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you're not completely retiring.
No. I still love it, definitely.
But the three-time series champion's consecutive start streak that dates all the way back to his series debut is now officially over. 592 races is the official benchmark. I've talked quite a lot about Crafton's streak in the past, and the more I consider it, I just come away with a sense of frustration. For one, I'm frustrated that this streak didn't get more attention. In terms of calendar years, it's longer than Jeff Gordon's record streak in the Cup Series. Like Gordon, the overwhelming majority of his streak has come with one team, number, and sponsor. And it's more total starts than Kenny Wallace made in what's now the O'Reilly Series. And Wallace holds that all-time record in a series that typically runs between 8 and 10 more races per season. Crafton's longevity is unrivaled. But second, so is his unlikability among the fan base in recent years. His viral meltdowns on the radio are something you'd expect from a teenage rookie, not a veteran in their late 40s who's won 3 championships. You might recall his public bet with Travis Pastrana that he wouldn't lose a nitrocross race to a female driver before proceeding to do exactly that when Gray Ledbetter finished third and Crafton only managed fifth. And his fight with Nick Sanchez at Talladega is still fresh in the minds of many. Elton Sawyer even went on record and said suspensions were considered for the incident, which obviously would have ended his streak. Performance-wise, Crafton was damn good in his prime, particularly from 2013 to 2015, when he won the majority of his races and 2 of his 3 championships. But he didn't get his first win until 2008 and only has 1 win since 2017. And only 15 total wins is just a bit more than half of fellow 3-time champion Jack Sprague's total of 28. And Sprague also did it in roughly half the starts. All told, it's one of the most fascinating and perhaps strangest career arcs in NASCAR history. And if Crafton had retired a few years earlier, I think his potential Hall of Fame resume would be a lot stronger, and his career as a whole much more appreciated. But in appreciating that streak, I don't just want to look back at the past. I want to take a look ahead to the immediate future. Is there anyone who even has a prayer at breaking Crafton's record in a series where drivers typically come and go at a much higher rate than they do in Cup? Truck Series lifer Grant Enfinger would be about 40% of the way there with a streak that started at the 2016 Homestead finale, had he not missed the Daytona road course race in 2021 due to a lack of sponsorship at, of all teams, ThorSport Racing. While he eventually struck a deal with CR7 Motorsports to fill in the rest of his gaps in the schedule, missing 1 race was all it took to reset his streak. But even if he hadn't missed that race, at 41 years old, it's a near certainty that he's closer to the end of his full-time career than the beginning. He already would have had to race into his mid to late 50s, but with the streak being reset just 5 years ago, now he would have to remain full-time into his early 60s, and that just isn't feasible in my opinion. Stewart Friesen would be on a streak for the better part of a decade if not for 2 interruptions. He skipped the Kansas race in the fall of 2020 to run a race at Port Royal Speedway, and missed the final 9 races last season after being badly injured in a dirt modified crash in Canada. He's thankfully made a full recovery and is back in the truck for 2026. But again, Friesen is 42 years old. So even if he had an active streak still going, he also would have had to keep doing this until his late 50s, and I doubt he plans to stay in the series that long, let alone on a full-time basis. Tyler Ankrum is currently on a streak that dates back to Martinsville in 2019. He's bounced around quite a bit in his career, starting with DGR Crossley, starting parking with Nemco twice to maintain his playoff eligibility, spending 2 seasons with GMS, another 2 with Hattori, and is now entering his 3rd season with McAnally Hilgeman Racing. Tanner Gray is also on a streak that dates back to Martinsville in 2019, but his streak dates back to the fall race rather than the spring. And unlike Ankrum, his streak has been with the same team, as he's stuck with DGR Crossley through their transitions to David Gilliland Racing and now Tricon Garage, as well as manufacturer changes from Toyota to Ford and back to Toyota. Ankrum turns just 25 next month, while Gray only turns 27 in April. So if either of them stay long enough, it's definitely possible. But I think both drivers are still at an age where eventual O'Reilly and/or Cup opportunities would be an attractive offer. So as far as I'm concerned, the only driver we can definitively say has even the slightest of chances at this record, at this moment in time at least, is Crafton's longtime ThorSport teammate Ben Rhodes. As of the end of the 2025 season, Rhodes stood at 235 career Truck Series starts, the last 231 of which were consecutive, dating back to Daytona in 2016. He's only turning 29 years old as the 2026 season is beginning. If a Truck Series schedule stays at 25 races per season, that would put him in a position to break Crafton's record of 592 in roughly 14 and a half seasons from now, midway through the 2040 season, at which point Rhodes will only be 43 years old, which is actually significantly younger than Crafton is now, with his streak just coming to an end this year. If Rhodes stays healthy and free from injury, maintains good standing with his sponsors and the ThorSport team, and turns down the opportunity to move up the ladder should such an opportunity arise, the record is absolutely in reach for him. But there's so much that has to go right before that can happen. Consider Mikal Bridges, who has never missed a game in his NBA career, once played 83 games in a single season, and whose streak survived a pandemic and multiple shortened and condensed seasons that came with it. Bridges' streak dates all the way back to October of 2018, and only now, this season, is he just reaching the halfway point of AC Green's NBA record. Even Bridges himself has admitted there's almost certainly no chance he'll be able to catch Green. But that's why Ironman's sports streaks are so impressive. It only takes one missed event for the streak to reset to zero. Do I think Crafton's record is unbreakable? Probably. But then again, baseball fans said the same thing about Lou Gehrig's record before Cal Ripken Jr. came along. You never want to say never, but unless Ben Rhodes follows the exact same career path as Crafton did, while staying free from injury the entire time, it's safe to say it's going to be a long, long time before we see anything similar to what we saw from Crafton over the last quarter century.
And Matt Crafton wins his third Truck Series championship.